What's up, guys? Last week we talked on David. This week we're going to look at the character of Caleb. He's found twice in Scripture in the Old Testament. First one is Deuteronomy chapter 13 and 14, and the scripture we're going to look at is Joshua chapter 14. So I give you those references so you can go back, read it your own, pray through, ask the Lord to teach you. You'll probably get a lot more yourself than you're getting from me. But a little history before we jump into it. This is the Israelites have come out of Egypt. They were there for 400 years. They were slaves. Life was not very good for the Israelites. So the Lord leads them out through the plagues, the parting of the Red Sea. They come in. Moses gets the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai, and then they are brought to the edge of the Promised Land. It's the land that the Lord has given as an inheritance to the Israelites. Now, it's not just a free gift. It's here's the land. I'm empowering you to go in and kill the people that are there and take over this place. They're a little fearful though, and so when they get to the edge, they say, Lord, can we send in 12 spies? One guy from each tribe to test it out. So He grants their petition. They go in. Caleb is actually one of the 12 that's selected to go in. They're there for 40 days, and then they all come back. 10 guys give a very negative report. They say the land is incredibly beautiful. The soil's fertile. There's this, the fruit that's out of this world big. It's a great place to live. But there's these giants and these fortified cities and these militaries that we have no chance of defeating. And Caleb and Joshua are the two that are saying, no, man, let's go. God's given it to us. Let's go immediately and take this land. And the other 10 are so salty that they say, man, they're plotting how to not only kill Joshua and Caleb, but how also to overthrow Moses and elect a leader to take them back to Egypt where they can be slaves again. So they were so fearful that they'd rather be slaves in Egypt than go into the promised land that the Lord's given. So we fast forward now 45 years. The Israelites did not go in. The complainers, the fearful people kind of had their way, and they're wandering the wilderness for 40 years. Now, I think it's 45 years. We're here in Joshua chapter 14. Joshua is now leading the Israelites, and Caleb is somewhere. It doesn't give his exact position, but I'm guessing he's somewhere in command, or at least close to Joshua. We find ourselves Joshua 14 verse 7. I was 40, and this is Caleb speaking. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought back word to him as was in my heart. Nevertheless, my brethren who went up with me melted the heart of the people, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. So Moses swore on that day, saying, surely the land where your foot has trodden shall be your inheritance, and your children's children forever, because you have wholly followed the Lord my God. So because he gave a favorable report, trusted the Lord, Moses promised that the land that you saw, that'll be your inheritance for you and your family. So verse 10, now behold, the Lord has kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years, ever since the Lord spoke the word to Moses, while Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now here I am this day, 85 years old. As yet, I am as strong this day as Moses sent me. Strong this day as when Moses sent me. Just as my strength was then, so now is my strength for war, both for going out and for coming in. So he's saying, I'm 85 years old, but I'm as strong today as I was back then. And just like I wanted to go in then, I want to go in now. So verse 12, it picks up. Now therefore, give me this mountain which the Lord spoke that day. So here's this guy, 85 years old, saying he wants to fight. I wanted to fight then, I want to fight now. And the takeaway is this, guys. Caleb was a man of faith. He saw the same circumstances that the other 10 saw. He saw the giants, saw the cities, saw the walls, but instead of acting in fear and bringing back a negative response, he said, no, God can do this. He can do this through me. He can do this through us. We can go and take this place. And, I've heard teaching before. It says, faith is the opposite of fear, and fear is the opposite of faith. So the 10 acted out of fear. Caleb and Joshua acted out of faith. And I think the story shows that Caleb acted in faith at 40, and then 45 years later is still acting out of faith. And I think his faith is strengthened little by little. And so at 85 years old, he's got the faith to say, give me this mountain. I want to go fight those same giants that we saw then. I'm going to take that land, and I'm going to have it as an inheritance for my family. And the Lord blessed that. And it says, later on, he killed the giants, had that place as an inheritance for his family. And so that's, guys, the challenge for you, the challenge for me. I want to be a man that lives out faith. I don't want to live out fear. I want to trust the Lord, that the Lord is my strength, and that whatever the trial, whatever test, mine's probably not going to be fighting giants, but whatever it is that the Lord has for me, I want to act out in faith and not in fear. So that's the challenge for this week, guys. Purpose to have another one up next week. God bless.